So someone was like, why do a bunch of Americans move abroad and then act like they're better than the people who didn't move abroad, even though they just live in expat communities anyway? Okay, personally, I was like so just like cheerleading my chosen home for like years. Like I was just like so enthusiastic, like, oh, I love this country, they can do no wrong, like everything is better here. I love to share that with people back home because I felt like that was going to convince them to like want to join me. You know, if I'm like, oh yeah, look, we got like 5-6 weeks of vacation here and it paid vacation, or yeah, when I go to the ER I don't get stuck with a ridiculous bill. You know, like I'm hoping that people back home will see that and be like, yeah, you know, that sounds real good, I should like try and make that happen. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like I always had this dream that like everybody I care about would eventually be like persuaded to come and join me so that I could have the experience of living abroad and then still have like, you know, the people I care about close by. So I can't help saying maybe in some of those cases people just interpreted it differently, but that's not how it was meant. But like I recently heard someone talking about how people will lose weight and then really like, and then get like real sassy about the fact that they're slim and like look down on their friends who are still heavier, you know? So I think that's just a thing that people do, you know? And again, I can't help feeling like imperialism plays into this on some level. I feel like it like so many of us have this need to like be competitive and feel like we're above other people, and I feel like that's just one of those things. It's like you feel good that you managed to succeed and, you know, have this thing that's like really desirable that not everybody can have. So of course you're gonna be like kind of like smirking about it, but actually you don't necessarily have to, you know, like that's just the reaction we typically see. You know, that's what we expect, that's what we see modeled, so that's what we mimic, you know. And personally, I was always a huge advocate for avoiding people from your home country so that you can fully immerse yourself in the host culture and learn as much about them as possible, get as good at the language as possible. But one thing I will say is that recently I've been thinking more about how languages don't really survive if you don't have a community. I think it, like, I can think of like so many examples where it seems like if you have people who immigrate, the parents will speak it as a native language, the kids will be bilingual, but the local language will be more dominant, which means that for their kids, they're mostly getting that dominant language, and the non-dominant language you know, starts to really be lost by the third and especially the fourth generation, unless there's something like Saturday school or Chinatown where people can come together, you know? Like, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be like a whole neighborhood. I don't really know like how to consolidate those two things to like not go in the direction of like being too much in your own bubble. But yeah, just another thought to add into the mix.